What's going on, guys? Jedi270 here from Airsoft RX. What we're going to talk about today is an item that I've had for almost 2 years. And if you watch my last video, I can't really say that it is actually G&P because the labeling on the box, and I wish I had it there, I couldn't find it. You know, stickers are easy things to pirate, okay? Because even though it's not copyright protected as far as there's all kind, well, it is, but they don't go after it as bad. The Steelers helmet logo, like is on my hat, you know, there are people who have these 3M machines. They do 20 mil 3M to make the helmet logos that I use to do my replica helmets. You know, that they're easily made. So I can't really say right off the top of my head that it's actual G&P. I guess if I took the time to research it, I could probably trace it back to the factory. So maybe I'll do that. But let's talk about it anyway, okay? This is, and this is what we'll call it because that's what the box says, the G&P EOTech 553 Replica in Desert Tan, okay? Or Dark Earth or Coyote or whatever you want to call it. Now, you'll find out as you go in through the world of Airsoft, and being a retailer, I've noticed a lot of EOTech replicas out there. A lot of them are OEM by G&P, meaning maybe not the outside body version, but the internals could be the screw, could be the buttons on the back, could be the LED emitter inside, could be the battery compartment, could be anything, even all the way up to the entire thing being made by G&P. But they do a lot of OEM work, which is original equipment manufacturer. Okay, so I've noticed a lot of them will have, you know, misspelling of this on the side where it says for law enforcement and military use. I've seen some like that. I've seen some where the laser warning label is misspelled. You know, stuff like that happens. And I've seen some that just don't work, and I've seen some that take a dump after a year. But for 2 years, this one has worked flawlessly for me. I absolutely love it. It was well worth the $85 I spent on it, and that's to include the shipping from EB Airsoft, okay, which was eBay banned before. Now, the thing about EB Airsoft is it's not the first order I've made from this company. They are in China or Hong Kong, or you could call it Taiwan if you want. That's where they're based out of. But I ordered a JG crane stock from them, and it took them, after about 4 months, I finally just said, you know what? I'm not going to get the stock. So I started sending them emails to get my money back, and it took me another 3 months to get my money back. Did I let that stop me from ordering the EOTech? No, because it was the best price I could find it at, and I gave them another shot. You know, everybody's worth at least one more chance. Okay, so things that's happened here in the past with Menace and everything else, I give one more chance. So we'll go with that. Let's just go with that, why don't we? So let's take a closer look. Now, one thing about this that I noticed, and I know EOTech would have a flipping fit if they saw this on here. See right there where it says EOTech L3? You notice how it's just a slightly darker than the body. You have to get real close to see it. It is on both sides. And I haven't tried using this digital scan code yet. Most smartphones you can buy a scanner and scan, or download it for free as an app and scan that, and it should take you to EOTech's website or G&P's website. Maybe I'll do that tonight, and see where that goes. Now, here's the thing I don't like about it. See on the bottom, both the levers are completely closed. See how this one goes straight flush to the rail, and this one lays off at an angle. That kind of distressed me a little. Did it stop it from working? Nah. Did it make it loose? Nah. Works just fine. And it's worked flawlessly. Now, like I said, for 2 years. Like all the others on the back, you have the on button here. And as you can see, there is the red reticle. And this one switches to green, which you can probably barely see that. Let me see if I can pump up the volume on that a little bit. There she is. Let me move it up a little bit. Maybe it's the lighting. There it is, see? So that's actually the L3 reticle. I mean, you see a lot of different reticles out there. That's the actual one, and I know it appears smaller on camera than it actually is. It's a circle with 4 hash marks, 2 on each side, 1 on the bottom and 1 on the top, and a single dot in the center. And for that model, I believe it's completely accurate. turn it off, hit both buttons, shuts it down. You got 2 AAA batteries right up underneath the battery compartment here. You just lift this lever up and pull that off, and they slide right out. One guy asked me one time, he says, "Hey Jedi, will this work on a 22 rifle?" I haven't tried it yet. I'm getting ready to pick up the Umarex HK416D22, and I've seen a lot of reviews on that rifle. A lot of guys saying, Umarex, gross. Dude, Umarex is a good company. They manufacture some good stuff. And H&K is not going to let them put their name on anything. Even though they own the license, they can't put their name on it unless H&K signs off on it. And H&K signed off on it, so therefore I'm okay with it. All right? It's built by Walther, that is owned by Umarex. You talk about the chicken and the egg. One guy left a comment on the channel, says, oh, well, they own this or they own that, so it's an Umarex gun and this one came first. No. Carl Walther Firearms was in operation before Umarex. Umarex is a offshoot of Walther, not Walther an offshoot of Umarex. Walther came first. So, you know, if Walther Firearms is manufacturing it and they're going to put Umarex's name on it, that's fine. I fully intend on removing the Umarex name off the side of the magwell. Once I get that and get it set up the way I want to, I'm going to do a Duracoat finish on it so you guys can see. It's a great little 22 rifle. A lot of people say that a 22 rifle is not the same as having a 223. It's basically the same round. It's just souped up to be a 223, and the bullet's just a little bit more in diameter than the 22, which is why you can buy 22 conversion kits for a typical Bushmaster AR and still use that upper. Now, a buddy of mine, Chris Taylor for Taylor Rifle Works, he may still be online. Chris, if you see this, you know, just send a comment real quick and let people know about your business. For a young guy, Chris is incredible. I mean, he's the epitome of setting small goals and obtaining them. Making sure that he has set his future ahead of himself and he knows how to obtain it. That's why I'm very proud to call him my friend, and I'm very proud to have him as a part of Airsoft RX, because Chris is a very intelligent young man. Chris is telling me on the computer the other day that, you know, he can build me a dedicated 22 upper, but, you know, I'd rather just have the, you know, no knock on Chris or anything, but I'd rather just have a dedicated 22 AR system and not have to switch out between the two. And it's more economically viable for me versus me just knocking the 2 pins out and changing out the upper to the lower. You know, it's just, it's you know, apples to oranges, but it's just the way I want it. But like I said, the G&P EOTech 553 replica, we do have these available. Even though the website is not up yet, it does not stop you from saying, "Hey Jedi, can you get me this?" And I will get it to you and sell it to you and shoot you a price and let you know how much it is. Just because the site's not up and running doesn't mean I can't sell to you. So if you guys want something, hit me up and let me know, and I'll get it to you at the best price I possibly can. I do carry these. We carried them at Menace. They run about $100. But the only thing is, the distributor we get them through does not carry the one with the EOTech licensing on it. So if the licensing is a huge issue for you, then don't get it from me. Go to EB Airsoft and get it. I don't know if it's still on there. I think he calls it Desert Tan EOTech Replica or Red Dot. You just have to go in because he's got a lot of stuff on his website. But it's a nice site to have. It's very economical. It's really cheap, and it lasts a long time. This is the Jedi. I thank you for watching. So now I'm going to leave you with my final thought. I figured I'm going to start doing this on all of my videos because I feel the need to reach out to you guys. That's what I do. You know, a couple years ago, I was in my police department issued uniform, and I was standing in line at a Kroger grocery store off duty getting ready to go home. There was a lady in front of me and had this little boy. He must have been maybe 2-3 years old. And I really love kids, you know, so I'm doing, "Hey, how you doing? How you doing?" And he looked at me and he waved, you know, had the little pacifier, his cues button. And she turned around, slapped his hand and says, "We don't talk to police officers. They're bad people." I'm like, what? You know, I didn't confront her at the time. I wished I had, But the only thing that would have happened was chaos would have ensued. I would have been in trouble with my command. So I left it alone. But if you sit and you think about it, this is a kid that if he leads a law-abiding life, he may be somewhere in a bad situation, the wrong place, the wrong time. He may be getting ready to be abducted, his throat cut, shot, stabbed. I mean, you name it. And the only person he can call for help is a police officer, but he's been trained to hate police officers. That it would be better to be kidnapped, raped, sodomized, abused, than it would be to call a police officer. Parents, if you're watching this and you're the type of person who shuns police officers because you've been arrested in the past, if you've done something wrong, don't pass this ignorance on to your children. Don't pass the racial issues on to your children. Racism will die, and the hatred for police officers will die when you do. I hate to say it, but it's true. Sometimes the truth hurts. So this kid could be in a bad situation one day and be so afraid of a police officer that he can't get help that he needs. Do you want your child to not get the help that they need? To save their life, to come home to you? To give you grandchildren because you don't like cops? So, my homework for you guys this week is if you see a police officer on the street, approach him. Shake his hand, shake her hand, and say thank you for laying your life on the line and making me feel safe. Thank you for being a good cop and not one of the bad ones that puts negativity upon your profession. You'll find out that you just made that cop's day. Not only that, he or she will go home, and the next day they will do their job to the utmost professionalism to live up to your idea of them. And then bad cops will disappear when they die. Take care of each other, play safe, and for God's sake, stay off the drugs, please. I've seen so much of that in my lifetime, and it's so sad to see someone look like a zombie, pee on themselves, not even know it, stand on the street and bring themselves to such a low that they beg for money to eat, that they're just going to turn around and shoot in their veins. Don't even try it. If one of your buddies says that you're a sissy or a fag for not trying drugs, when you see him on the street corner and he's peed himself and he doesn't know whether it's night or day and his brain is completely turned into sausage, give him a hand up, not a hand out. Take him to a shelter. Get him help. Help your fellow man and take care of yourselves. Thanks for watching.